Once I have submitted the job, here I am getting the status as aborted one. So now it's my duty to monitor the run and check what exactly went wrong. To monitor the run, simply we can go for monitor. Then let us maximize this one and let us go for the log first and check. Under the started, it is saying input file processor. Then it has completed the input file processing. That means there are no modeling related issue in my model. Then it is saying started Abaqus standard. That means it has started solving the model. And in the immediate second line, it is saying aborted Abaqus standard. So at the time of solving the model itself, it has faced some problem. Now let me go to the status file first and let us check if some fraction of the problem have been solved. So it looks like there is some fraction of the problem that have been solved. So if I go for 1, you can see at the last it is saying 0.0669. So basically only 6% of the problem have been solved. You can note over here. Let us go to the top first. So under the degree of freedom monitor, it has started from the 0,0, that is our reference state. And if I scroll downward, at the end of our analysis, our insert have been moved by the distance of 1.27. Indeed, that is not much. In addition to this, you can note our problem have been terminated when the increments have been reached to the 100. So one way to solve this issue is, let me go for the dismiss first. Let us close this one. Let us go for the step. Under the step manager, let us go for, under the step manager, let us click on the first and go for edit. Under the incrementation, here you will find the maximum number of increment. This number basically indicate how much time Abaqus is allowed to solve the model before it terminate your job. In ours as well as in most of the static analysis, 100 maximum number of increments serves the purpose. Now question is, in our analysis, should we be increasing this maximum number of increment, let's say to 1000 to solve the analysis or not? So to answer that question, let me close this one. Again close this one and go for the job. Again go for the job manager and let us go for the monitor. You will note till 100 increment he has only solved 6% of your problem. That means there is inherently something wrong in our analysis. Now to check what exactly is wrong, we can go for the message file. Under the message file, we can start to read it from the top. Let us scroll downward. In this particular case, I am trying to go through the message file from the top because I think there is some inherently wrong in our analysis. So you can note, as we have predicted, there might be some situation of numerical singularity. Abaqus is throwing us a warning where it is saying that the numerical singularity when processing node of this particular assembly, the node ID have been mentioned and the degree of freedom have been mentioned. Let us again scroll downward and let us check whether the same numerical singularity is coming or not. So again you can see, under the warning it is saying the system matrix has 2 negative eigenvalue. This warning usually comes when our model is highly unstable. Let us again try to go downward. Again I am getting numerical singularity and some element distortion. So once we understand that we are getting numerical singularity, that means there is some location where model is not connected properly or the boundary conditions are inaccurate. Let us close this one. We know this particular boundary condition we need to play with. So again I will go for the load. Let us go for boundary condition manager and let us click on this created button. Oh sorry, not this one. We need to go for the displacement, go for the created and go for edit. So for this particular boundary condition, in addition to applying the displacement in the downward direction, we need to constrain the rest of the degrees of freedom. So with this particular configuration, we are essentially saying that this particular face of the insert can only move in the downward direction, that too with the distance of -19 mm. Once that is done, simply go for OK. Make sure under the modified also it have been changed. Again go for OK. Close this one. Again let us quickly go for the job. Go for the create job. And here let me go for the snap fit. Let us say TR2. Go for continue. Under the parallelization, let us put 8. OK. And now let us submit the job. Once the job starts running, we can monitor our analysis. We can simply go for the monitor. Now currently it has started to process our input file. It has completed, that means that file have been generated. Once it will start Abaqus standard, automatically message file will get generated. Now let us go with the message file. Let us scroll downward and make sure if the numerical singularity is coming or not. So you can note, here we are getting the warning as two unconnected region in the model. And of course that is going to be the case because insert and the buckle, they are not connected through any physical means. But you will note here we are not getting any numerical singularity this time. Again scroll downward. Once it looks like everything is going our way, we can go for the status file and we can monitor the run over here. You can check the degree of freedom monitor and you can check the displacement of 19 mm have been applied at the end of the step 1. Now once the step 2 have been started, automatically this displacement should come down to the 0. So you can see the second step is still in progress and the displacement is dropping down. With this degree of freedom monitor itself, we can predict that indeed our run is going as per our expectation. Now you can notice here it is saying analysis has completed successfully. So two things we can note it down from here. First one is that at the end of the step 1 we are getting the displacement of -19 and at the end of the step 2 we are getting the displacement of 0 mm. So essentially engagement and the disengagement have been completed successfully. So let me close this one now and we can go for the results. In the next session we will thoroughly observe the results. Till then, take care, goodbye.